Hi, welcome. We're here on Instagram Live, and we're just going to unbox a book from Shalom Dean. Just got the book in the mail, the office. I biked here from work, trying out a new lounge, a new cigar lounge. Here's my, here's the book. All who go do not return. We're going to read some pieces of it. Abichel. Okay, for both of you guys. Okay. Abichel. Rabbi Hillel cried, don't you know what the Chazal Sofer said about Abichel? I don't know what the Chazal Sofer had said. Chiefly this. All that is new, Chodesh Asim in HaTorah, all that is new is forbidden by Torah, including modern dress, modern speech, modern names, modern ideas. Bichel, the Holy Chazal Sofer says, stands for Kol Bo'eha Lo Yeshuvun. Beis Yud Kaf Lamed Bichel. Kol Bo'el, all who go to her do not return. So said the Bible regarding a woman of loose morals. So said the rabbis of the Talmud regarding heretical ideas. And so said the Chazal Sofer regarding little books, which I imagine meant little books of a certain kind, books of unknown provenance, written in strange languages by strange people. The book I now held, because it was in English, not Yiddish or Hebrew, looked suspicious to Reb Hillel. It's a Maaseh Bichel, I said. But the book I was reading was kosher. It's about Rabbi Akiva, a tale of a sage. Not Torah, but close enough. Now, what's interesting is that, Smoothie Zubi. Zubi means like dick in Arabic, right? Probably the most luxurious cigar lounge in the U.S. Of course, man. This place is sugar. Anyway, I just want to say something. I did a little reading from the book, and I want to add that the Gemara itself, when the Gemara lists opinions, the Gemara itself was rejected by a lot of fanatics because it gives respect to the book of Homer and the Iliad. The traditionalists said that the way of the Talmud brings. By the way, say hello to my camera. Yeah. So the book of the book. So when you're reading anything, poetry, classical text, the Talmud itself is a classical text. So. Amen. Now back to the shir. Hey, what's up, Herbst? So the Gemara says. So that's why when you look at the Gemara, you see it only mentions a philosopher one time. It mentions a Epicurus in Sanhedrin in a bad way, like not good to thank you, thumbs up, smiley. But it also. We have to understand that the Chazal give us the tools to be free thinking. The Chazal give us the tools to get out of trouble. They give us the tools to be traditional and rational, right? So I'm going to continue reading the book, and I'm going to continue hanging around. Can you talk about the Shidduch crisis? I'll tell you something about the Shidduch crisis. Very interesting. Okay. Here's something you want to know about the Shidduch crisis. Recently, a shliach locally told somebody to get rid of a girl because she was not Jewish. She was a foreign woman, right? And he didn't. She's not religious, so she's not a sucker. You can't convert her in a minute. But what if he married a secular Jewish girl? So it wouldn't be a problem. You just keep it hush-hush. Mikveh, no mikveh, kosher, no kosher, Shabbos, no Shabbos. It doesn't matter really. But the shliach was so programmed from yeshiva, and it's a man that's almost 60 years old. So he thought that he has the right to say something so cruel, but he wasn't taught in the yeshiva that if somebody, even though there are many shittas that hold that if two people are secular, they have no right to marry because they're not observing the laws of Tadas and Mishpacha and so on. They're not making a Jewish home. They're making maybe a human home, a cultural home. Jewish or not, Christmas, whatever they want, if they're open-minded. But so what's the Shidduch crisis? The funny thing about the Shidduch crisis is not only we can't marry Reform, but Chabad can't marry Babav. So you guys don't realize that who's in charge of separating the groups? Why can't Hasidim and Litvish be one umbrella? If a guy wants to be extra frum, that's on his own volition, but not part of a group. You want to be extra frum? You want to fast Monday and Thursday? Go ahead, make my day. We'll find you a girl that fasts Monday and Thursday. But you don't match it up that way. You match it by labels. So I was at a Fabrengen this past week, and a very nice boy from Winnipeg, very a Lubavitcher, but the good type. You look at him as a rational person. So he said to me, "Where's your menschlichkeit? You come to a Fabrengen and you have these ideas against everybody's beliefs." And I wasn't sharing it publicly. I was talking to him on the side about his progress in trying to educate Chabad about vaccinations and in science in general, but to him it was vaccinations was the mitzvah. I see basic rational thinking as the path to all good things. So I asked him, how is his progress doing? And then I said to him, you can't call people by this Fabrengen Lubavitchers. Of course, we could be proud of whatever we want to be. We could be proud of our family name. We could be proud of our bubby, and we could create a religion based on our bubby. We have every right to do that. But you don't have a right to call I call these people human beings who happen to be Lubavitch, and if they want, they have every right to stay and do and be whatever they want. So, who asked about the Shidduch? Sruli? Who asked about the Shidduch crisis? Sruli. So I'll tell you, Sruli, that it's not the problem is not intermarriage or marrying conservative with marrying Orthodox, or it's that Meshichistim can't marry non-Meshichistim. You understand? So just eject from the Baba Maisa, cold turkey. Eject. Your brother once told me, religion is a cult. Get out of it. And I was like, what are you talking about? Religion is, to me, it's personal. I daven in the morning. And then all my personal stuff with the kasher and the Shabbos and all the Baba Maisas, I come to shul and I have like-minded people. And they're Lubavitch. I can't feel comfortable in a Litvish crowd. At the time, my mind was, programmed. So to whatever he said to me, I couldn't appreciate, understand, articulate anything he said. He just went cold turkey. So I say eject, but do it properly. Eject from this nonsense and start from humanity and whatever a guy wants. If you have a guy that's a Meshichist and he's non-violent and he's not pushing it, he's sharing it as a personal experience, it may be nonsense, but as long as it's not cruel, accept the person. And people grow. You think they're going to be stuck with it forever? You have to make room for the next Mashiach. So you can't be a Mashiachist for 80 years. It's probably a 30 to 60 year balance. So you make room for people. You be a mensch. Accept everybody. There's people that are Lubavitchers that are fighting other Lubavitchers for not convincing enough reasons. Just because a guy believes his grandmother is Mashiach, you shouldn't throw him out the door. You should explain to him that your neighbor believes that his grandmother is Mashiach. And then, little by little, it can become more universal. Buddhist is a meditation. It's like, you meditate and stuff. It's theosophy. Einstein called it weakness. Of course, a lot of philosophers, Schopenhauer, Moses Mendelssohn, they interpreted the Bhagavad Gita into German as they were interested in it, but we don't need it. Oh, Tuvi's calling me. Man, Tuvi is calling me. Look at me. I get a call from one of the biggest. You knocked off the whole program in the middle of a live. Were you watching? You're not watching live. I'm right now in the middle of live with the Instagram live. You want to go and watch it? Did you know?
I was watching it.
Oh, you're watching, so you can't interrupt it. Okay, you're a chevra. Yeah, you did. I think you knocked it over. Tell me, am I still on?
I have to go back. I can hang out with you to check.
I can hang out with you. I don't mind. I'm not a numbers guy. I don't need a lot of chassidim. One friend is enough. I just followed Modway on Instagram.
Yeah, I saw.
Amazing. You guys have furniture that eats a das like a tree and it's a bookcase. It's mamish masim to this book. to the new book from Shalom Dean. Just looking at it now.